Welcome to Let's Talk Criterion, and in this edition we'll be looking at the Palme d'Or winning film from Justine Triet, Anatomy of a Fall. Justine Triet is a French director who is the third director to win the Palme d'Or prize at Cannes. She won this award in 2023 for her masterful direction on her latest film, Anatomy of a Fall. The other two winners of this prize are Jane Campion in 1993 with The Piano and Julia Ducournau in 2021 for Titane. In 2024, Triet became the first female French filmmaker to be nominated for the Academy Award for Best Director. And of course, she won the Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay, which was written by herself and her partner Arthur Harari. Triet is a graduate of the Beaux-Arts de Paris. The majority of her early work consisted of short documentary films and they focused on social justice issues and commentary, beginning with Sur Place from 2007, L'Ordre des Mots from 2007 also, Solferino from 2009, and Des Ombres dans la Maison from 2010. Her directorial debut feature film was entitled Age of Panic, and that was presented as part of the ACID programme at the 2013 Cannes Film Festival, and it was ranked number 10 on Cahiers du Cinéma's top 10 list in 2013, after being highlighted by the critic Stéphane Delorme in the April 2013 editorial. She said that she was amongst a generation of young, emerging French filmmakers. Now, the film also won the Audience Award for Best Short Film at the Paris International Film Festival. And in 2016, Triet wrote and directed the romantic comedy drama In Bed with Victoria. This was nominated for the César Award for Best Film and Best Original Screenplay. And in 2019, her comedy drama called Sybil premiered at the 2019 Cannes Film Festival, and that also competed for the Palme d'Or. Anatomy of a Fall has had worldwide acclaim, and it's one of the best international films of 2023, garnering many awards at major international film festivals. The film stars Sandra Hüller playing the character of Sandra, a successful writer who is living with her son and her husband in the French mountains near Grenoble. Her son Daniel comes back from a walk and discovers that his father, Samuel, is dead at the foot of their chalet, which he is in the midst of renovating. The police and medical teams are immediately called by Sandra when she is alerted by her son, and therein begins the almost scalpel-like dissection of fact surrounding the so-called accident, which is quickly identified as a homicide, with Sandra, unfortunately, as the main suspect. Now, the exposition here is what impressed me so much, notwithstanding the lead actor speaking in English and French and seemingly switching effortlessly between both languages. The fact that Sandra Hüller is in fact German, proven recently, of course, with her role in The Zone of Interest, is also impressive, meaning that English is not her native tongue, and she also elected to learn French purely for her role in this film. Now, the film quickly moves into the courtroom, where a rather sharp-witted and sarcastic prosecution lawyer, Antoine Reynarts, cross-examines Sandra and her son, who has been called to the trial as a primary witness. Now, the other fascinating aspect here is that her son is almost totally blind. The young actor, Milo Machado Graner, playing the son, is very intelligent, and he delivers a plausible performance with almost pitch perfection. Initially seeking blind and visually impaired actors for this role, Triet eventually opened her casting to include sighted children. She aimed to cast a blonde-haired actor to complement the leading actress Sandra Hüller, who portrays Daniel's mother. However, upon listening to Machado Graner's audition tape, she invited him for a callback and to audition in November 2021. She was really impressed by his emotional transformation and his maturity, and she promptly selected him for the role of Daniel. Now, the other star of the film, of course, is Messi, the dog, cast as Snoop in the film. There's one particular scene here where I marvelled, quite frankly, at how the director even got the dog to do anything like what it did. I've honestly never seen an animal do anything quite like this on film before. It was really convincing. Now, the other performance worth noting, of course, is that of the defence lawyer, that's Vincent, played by Swan Arlo, who appears to have a sort of fleeting relationship in the past with the accused. It's a bit ambiguous, that, though. Now, a nod also to the female judge in the film, Sadia Bentaib, as well as the court monitor Marge. She's the court-appointed minder, making sure that Daniel's testimony isn't influenced. She's played by Jenny Beth. The flashback scene featuring the argument between Sandra and her husband was also very well staged. Now, the film has a long running time of 151 minutes, but not a single minute is wasted, and nor does your attention wander. I was totally engaged throughout this film, and as I say, was rather mesmerised by Sandra Hüller's performance above all. Now, this is an example of how circumstantial evidence can show a person to be guilty of a crime and get indicted. But in reality, it's all rather circumspect, and how ambiguity can easily creep in, even amongst the experts. And there's one rather damning piece of evidence that surfaces unexpectedly in the film, which jeopardises Sandra's position, but I will certainly not reveal that. Overall, the skillful direction and slightly off-kilter presentation of events throughout the film, for instance using pans of rooms and shots deliberately obscuring our view in parts. They are fairly straightforward courtroom scenes, but it's difficult to do a lot of fancy camera work in a court. But there are a couple of shaky camera moves, which does give it that verite feel. Now, this film itself unfolds at its own pace, and I would certainly invite you to let yourself be seduced by its very calm and almost antiseptic approach. You will certainly be rewarded in the end. And music also plays an integral part in the film, starting of course near the beginning with a cover of the 50 Cent track Pimp, done by Pakao Rhythm and Steel Band, which is played intrusively loud. Daniel also continuously practices Asturias Lenenda on the piano, as well as the prelude en mi minor opus 28, number 4 by Chopin, played by himself and his mother Sandra. It seems to be Sandra Hüller's year last year, with her other excellent performance, of course, that she gave in Jonathan Glazer's film The Zone of Interest as Rudolf Hoss's wife in Auschwitz. And that's a film I'm hoping will end up in the Criterion collection as well. Triet said that the genesis of Anatomy of a Fall stemmed from her long-standing desire to create another trial film since her 2016 production, In Bed with Victoria. In an interview with Paris Match, she explained that she really wanted to address the legal question in all of its detail and to delve into issues of relationships and cohabitation. And it was also a pretext to dissect every aspect of their lives. Triet further expresses her fascination with the Amanda Knox case. That was where a young American woman was accused of murdering her roommate, Meredith Kirschner, in Italy in 2007. The director also states that she wrote the screenplay specifically for Sandra Hüller, and when Hüller was cast in the role of a German writer who is accused of murdering her French husband in France, Triet told the actress that the language would be an important subject within the film, and as a couple that did not speak the same language and they communicated through English, Hüller wanted to speak French in the film, but Triet rejected this idea. She said it was very important to have the sensitivity, the feeling that the husband and wife don't speak the same language, so they only communicate through a third language, English. And there was also the idea of what it means to be a foreigner on trial in France. To be tried in a country that is not your own country can be tough, because you're judged for how you express yourself. But as you're not speaking in your mother tongue, and there are lots of filters between you and your reality, this can somewhat be misinterpreted. Now, principal photography for Anatomy of a Fall began at the end of February 2022, and it wrapped up on the 13th of May of that year. Filming took place mostly in the region of l'Auvergne-Rhône-Alpes, such as in Maurienne and Villerombert in Savoie, and in Montbonneau-Saint-Martin and Grenoble in Isère. And the courtroom scenes were shot in the courthouse of Sainte-Charlotte-Maritime. Now, the film has certainly earned its reputation worldwide, and it's certainly a well-crafted contemporary take on a courtroom drama. The disc you get is a Blu-ray, and it has the following special features. There's a 2K digital master with 5.1 surround DTS HD master audio soundtrack. There's a new interview with the director Justine Triet, deleted and alternate scenes with a commentary given by Triet, audition footage of the actors Milo Machado-Graner and Antoine Renarts, rehearsal footage also of Machado-Graner and actor Sandra Hüller, short program about the dog who plays Snoop, featuring its trainer Laura Martin, and a trailer, and as always in a fold-out, an essay by the critic Alexandra Swartz. Now, the cover art is designed by Greg Ruth, and I have to say that I thought that this particular artwork was rather uninspired. Anatomy of a Fall dissects the circumstances of an unexpected death with surgical precision, with masterful direction and exposition by Justine Triet. With the use of English and French language throughout, it lands in the collection and turns the courtroom drama in a new direction. The film has a running time of 151 minutes, and it's in a widescreen aspect ratio, that is in 1:8:5:1, and it releases on Blu-ray and DVD on Tuesday the 20th of May in the US as Spine 1218. Now, we'll be shortly featuring our next Janus contemporary title, and that's called All That Breathes. So until next time, from me, as always, it's goodbye, and above all, good Criterion viewing.